lovely beings. It's Lilah here with another weekly Love Bites with Lilah. I had originally committed to give you one every week, so I'm standing by that commitment. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, I welcome you. If you're coming back again, I'm grateful for your return. And if you enjoy what you see, please hit the subscription, like, notification, and share with others, because my information is meant to be shared. It's not to be held. And the more that hear it, the more that may hear it who need it, then the better it is for us all, right? So I am a healer and I am a seer and metaphysical guide, and I work from my practice here in Cape Town. And it is pretty windy today, albeit that it's a nice sunny day. We are stepping into summer, so that's great, right? Because the warm weather is coming and we can hit the beaches and swim in the oceans, and yes, very blessed to have all of the beautiful scenery and mountains that we do around here. So, what is this week's topic about? Well, this week's topic is actually quite, it's ironic because it's based on a discussion with my banker, right? And this is quite interesting when the two worlds overlap, because as much as, I was in corporate for 24 years, I need to interact with the third dimensional realm. I am a mother, I'm a wife. I have rent to pay, I have a car to pay for maintenance and all those beautiful third dimensional real things. And we have banks, right, that we have to interact with if we want to store our money somewhere, and if we want to pay all those bills we need to pay. So today my bank needed to just update some information. And as always, which is quite fascinating to me, is even if, even people within my field, right, so friends of friends, when I have to share with them what it is I do, either it goes completely quiet and the person disappears, or they look in rapt, kind of rapt interest and ask all kinds of questions. But most often, it's the former, right? People don't know what to say, they don't know what to ask. They're actually nervous because they think you're going to just read them and tell them all these things they really don't want to know, which is actually not true, right? But there is this sense of nervousness. And in chatting to my banker, he of course said, I see you as self-employed. I need to add an occupational category. Which one shall I put you under? In which case I laughed and I said, well, Oscar, my state of employment, the nature of who I am, is that I am a spiritual healer. So what would you recommend? And after a long silence, he kind of paused, and I could see him furiously, tapping away on the keyboard, trying to find the appropriate category. And in the end, he comes back and he says, well, I think we'll just put you under not applicable. And that was quite funny, because I thought, actually, that's what it's about, right? Not applicable, not relevant, it's not important. And it took me down a whole realm of how do we get people to understand that the soul is actually the most important. So this talk is around how important your soul field is. You'll know if you've listened to me before that I've spoken about we're in the era of the soul. And so this unseen realm that majority of people seem to be fearful of or don't believe exists is the realm in which I work. So it can make things a bit difficult sometimes, or even for you to start feeling like what you're doing is of value, right? Not that I don't, because I fully believe in what I'm doing, but I do have my moments. So I felt that this topic needed to really just explore that. Why the fear? Why do people not easily align to the fact that there are unseen fields around us, that we have fields of information available to us at any one time, and that we do have a pure kind of wisdom that's accessible if we can actually develop the self-awareness and the commitment to kind of tuning into that. So I thought I'd align it with something practical, because that's what I always love, right? To share some spiritual insights with you, but in a practical way that you can understand. So what I thought I'd show you is this book that I've just started reading, Finding the Mother Tree, right? Because trees for me are sentient beings. Trees for me are the most consciously evolved beings on the planet. They don't have a mind, they don't have, well, I'm going to use this, right? They have a lot more, but let's start off by that, looking at it this way. They don't have the human faculties of the eye or the mouth that spews out a whole lot of nonsense normally, or actually says stuff it doesn't need to. They hold their presence so strongly, so firmly, so deeply connected to the ground, so aligned to source, right? Channeling in negative energy, turning it into positive energy, looking after the forest, looking after their group of trees, that science is now proving without a doubt that the communication that happens from the mother tree, as referenced by the author Susan Simard, and I'm hoping I've got the name right, is actually such a powerful sign that nature communicates in and between each other and across species all the time in a realm that is unseen. There is information that the mother tree, who holds the space for all the young adults, the young children, the seedlings, the saplings, that she is the guardian of that she stands there firmly and strongly, but she is communicating through the roots, through the fungi, through the invisible realms, through the web of life, and keeping that forest alive. And so if science can begin to start tapping into that and show us that that is happening, and to prove that there's communication far beyond what we had originally managed, then why is it so difficult for us humans to begin to understand there is this living, breathing web of life we are connected into? That this soul, as a unique essence, a unique and vibrational statement of who you are, is a field of wisdom, is unseen, yes, to most eyes, but it is not impossible to see. That is the work I do as a seer. I see, feel, sense, hear that field, and I translate it in the best way possible to feed information to my clients and obviously to share with you, be it for YouTube watchers. So what I really wanted to kind of connect in today is, in what way are you fearful of connecting into the unseen realms? In what way stops you from connecting into your soul and the wisdom it holds? Are there outdated beliefs? Is it your upbringing where you got told by Auntie Maggie that you mustn't go and look there because there's ghosts, or don't do certain things because you're calling in the demons or the witches? Whatever it is, examine them carefully, because this realm is available to us and it is not as scary as you might think, right? It is our natural state. I'm going to say that again. It is our natural state, and we need to return again to that natural way of being, which is really connecting into wisdom that bypasses the chattering thoughts, that bypasses the conscious thought form mess that is our energetic matrix at present, which is entangled in codependency, fear, manipulation, guilt, all of those frequencies. So what I want to ask you is, what would it take for you to try and, move above that entanglement and look up and peer over and see, what is it that I see out there? What is it that I sense that goes beyond this entangled matrix of thought forms and conscious fields that have been created by generations of humans acting in a negative capacity? Because we really need to go back to connecting from a conscious place, from an awake place, in a way that the mother tree holds that place. We are being asked to hold space for others while they are going through their personal growth, while they're going through changes. We are being asked to tap into the unseen realms of the wisdom of our soul, to really find that guidance and wisdom that is for our own highest good and is for the highest good of all. And if we break everything down, it is simply the nature of life. The other day when I was looking through a card or a stone to pull in my wisdom stone section, there was a stone that wasn't the first one I pulled, because when I pulled that, I thought, that doesn't make sense. You know, and as usual, when you pull something, it doesn't make sense. You just shift it back and think, oh, well, the message isn't there for me today. And as I stood up, a stone fell on the floor, which again means it's not necessarily always through your actions you're going to get the response or the answer. Sometimes it comes to you anyway, without even you trying, right? And part of the feedback of that particular stone was, trust that you and your evolution is just part of a creative process. And so all you need is going to be offered to you. And that I thought was most beautiful, because the trees, the forest, in their natural state without human interference, right? Trust that everything is part of a natural cycle, that their leaves fall during the autumn and they grow new sprouts when spring, summer arrives. There's no hanging on to that. That the little seedlings, saplings, can actually birth themselves from underneath the shade of the mother tree, where she holds them close. We need to hold our children close. And we need to realign to the natural symphony of sound, of vibration, of light, of frequency that is our soul energetic creative field. We are a natural part of life. Our human bodies, like the trunk of a tree, are just conduits for life force and energy. But we need to take responsibility for the energies we transmit, for the words we speak, for the vibrations we hold. Because even a mother tree in that forest will send warning signals if there's something that's not safe for the seeds or saplings, right? It sends information about how best to make use of the sunlight, the water, the nourishment from the ground. So the mother tree is always there to protect, to nourish, to support. We need to consider ourselves soulfully as a natural part of the creative process, as the natural part of the web of life, and start to begin to feel into our unseen realms, our soul field, our energetic consciousness, to align to that which is healing, that which is for the highest good of all, and that which is good for yourself and your loved ones and your family. So, I hope that has helped. It is shorter than the other ones, but I just felt called to come in and just say, what is it that you're scared of? What is it that you're afraid of? And actually, there is nothing to chase, right? Yes, we can work on ourselves and do all that, but sometimes people will say, how do I find my soul's purpose? How do I awaken that? And I'm like, but you're living that every moment of every day. Because your field is there. It is present with you. But call it in a little bit more strongly. Become more present in the moment. Become more aware of your role as a creative being, as someone who is part of a natural and very powerful creative process in which we are going through an evolution, and we are being asked to connect in to our soul, that which is unseen, that which is wise, that which is intimately connected with all of life, and that which ultimately is infinite. So I see you, infinite soul. I see you, magnificent being of light. Keep shining, keep walking, keep being gentle to yourself. And know that if you want help, I am here. I offer one-on-one sessions. If you want to be part of my community, it's Community of the White Rose. The link is below. It's really not that expensive. It is €9 a month. And we have regular moon cycle meditations. I hold regular Q&As and group sessions. I sometimes offer free healings or readings. It's a beautiful community. And of course, if you just want to hear more of who I am, check out my website, follow my Instagram profile, and yes, take care of yourself. A quick note before I end, I am going off on honeymoon next Wednesday. So I think the Love Bytes with Lilah are going to go on a bit of a pause. I will be out there without phones and everything, so completely disconnected well, disconnected from people, very connected to the earth. I'm going to Namibia with my husband for a road trip with our rooftop tent and a great, wide, vast, open wilderness in front of us. So until then, until I come back, I wish you all much love. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification, and share with whom you feel may need it. Lots of love.